Welcome back, Heartland family. This is Emma, and you're watching Next Flying, your go-to channel for everything Heartland. From emotional character journeys to deep episode breakdowns and theories, if you love this beautiful show as much as I do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're the first to know whenever we upload a new video. Today's video is not just special. It's deeply emotional. We're diving into Ty Borden's grand return in Heartland Season 19, Episode 1. After years of longing, grieving, and unanswered questions, Ty is finally back. And with him returns a wave of love, pain, and healing. Reconnection, redemption, and rekindling lost hope are the themes of this episode, not just shock. We'll walk through every powerful step. Amy's emotional reaction, Lindy's innocent recognition, Jack's wisdom, Lou's conflict, Georgie's strength, Tim's tough but tender heart, and finally, that tear-jerking private conversation between Ty and Amy. So grab a warm drink, find a cozy seat, and let's step into one of Heartland's most unforgettable episodes together. Before we explore Ty's return, we have to go back to the very moment he left us. Ty Borden wasn't just a central character, he was the emotional heartbeat of Heartland. Ty's arc was a journey of growth, love, and redemption, from a troubled teen placed on the ranch as part of his probation to a devoted partner to Amy, a father to Lindy, and a compassionate animal healer. After being shot while he was protecting Amy and later dying from a blood clot, his sudden death in Season 14 came as a shock. The world of Heartland, both on screen and off, was shaken to its core. Amy's devastation was shared by every fan. The barn felt emptier, the air was quieter. Even the horses seemed more solemn. Amy struggled, but she didn't give up. She found strength in Lindy, leaned on Jack's wisdom, and rebuilt her identity piece by piece. But even as she moved forward, the loss of Ty cast a shadow on everything. His memory was in every fence post, every trail ride, every whisper of the wind across the fields. And yet, fans never stopped hoping. Could there still be a miracle? Could Ty ever come back? The writers of Heartland didn't just suddenly bring Ty back. They planted subtle seeds throughout Season 18, gentle nods that whispered to the audience that Ty's story might not be finished. There were moments when Amy would wake from dreams, her face wet with tears, murmuring Ty's name. Lindy, in her innocence, would say things like, "I saw Daddy in the clouds," or "I heard him in the barn." Jack would sometimes pause mid-sentence when talking about Ty, as if he sensed something deeper. These weren't just memories, they were clues. Soft emotional brushstrokes painting the backdrop for a return that would feel both magical and grounded. Season 19 opens with a quiet stillness. The sky is soft blue, and the breeze carries a familiar weight. Amy is in the barn brushing Spartan, her heart clearly heavy but calm. Lindy runs through the field, chasing butterflies. The moment is peaceful. Then the camera pans toward the trees. A shadow emerges. A man steps forward, slower with age, but unmistakably Ty Borden. The air changes, the light shifts, and just like that, Ty is home. When Amy sees him, truly sees him, she doesn't believe it at first. Her breath catches in her throat. Her hands go still on Spartan's mane. The brush falls to the floor, her eyes widen in disbelief, and she stumbles backward, whispering, "No, it can't be." Ty takes one cautious step forward and simply says, "Amy." His voice is familiar yet distant, like a melody she hadn't heard in years but never forgot. She walks toward him, trembling, eyes searching for proof that this isn't a dream. And then, with a voice quivering with love and pain, she asks, "Ty, are you real?" Ty reaches out, gently touching her cheek, and nods. She was swept away like a wave by the years of grief, the nights of crying, and the dreams of what could have been. She breaks down in his arms, sobbing into his shoulder. He holds her like he never let go, and for a brief moment, time stops. Later, as they sit together, Amy asks how any of this is possible. Ty reveals a heart-wrenching truth. He did survive, but he was injured, disoriented, and taken in by someone far away who helped him recover. He had no recollection of the past, for years. Only recently did it begin to return. I knew I had to find my way home, he tells her. Amy's tears turn from sorrow to relief. She isn't dreaming, he is here. And he came back to her. The most touching moment comes when Lindy walks into the barn, her tiny boots tapping softly on the floor. She tilts her head when she sees a man kneeling near Spartan. "Who is that, Mommy?" Amy, still shaken but composed, crouches down beside her daughter and says, "That's your daddy." Lindy's eyes widen. Her small hands clutch her stuffed horse tightly. She moves slowly toward him, curious but unfazed. Ty looks at her, overwhelmed. "Hi, Lindy," he says gently. "I'm your dad." Lindy pauses, studying him. Then, in the most innocent and powerful moment of the episode, she reaches out and touches his hand. "You look like the man in the picture next to my bed," she says with a soft smile. "Sometimes I dream about you." Ty's eyes fill with tears. He completely knelt down, wraps his arms around her, and holds her like he will never let go. Lindy pulls back just enough to look at him and says, "You smell like horses." Everyone laughs. The ranch regains its sense of wholeness in that instant. Jack Bartlett, the solid rock of Heartland, brings his signature blend of wisdom and quiet strength as he navigates Ty Borden's shocking return. At first, Jack is frozen, not in disbelief, but in awe of a miracle he had quietly prayed for but never expected. For years, he carried the grief of losing Ty like an old saddle, weathered and worn, but still strong. When he first lays eyes on Ty again, Jack's voice trembles slightly, betraying the flood of emotion beneath his calm surface. However, as always, Jack's strength lies in the grace and insight with which he deals with these profound emotions. He doesn't rush toward Ty with questions or judgments. Instead, he steps back, observes, and gives space for Ty and Amy to reconnect, knowing that healing can't be forced, it must unfold naturally. Later, Jack and Ty sit together in the barn, where many memories are kept. And in that quiet moment, he says, "Life doesn't give us many second chances, son, but when it does, you hold on to them with everything you've got. It's more than just advice. It's Jack opening his heart, showing Ty that forgiveness, love, and family will always be here." His eyes, heavy with experience, carry the depth of someone who's lost and loved deeply. Jack's emotional depth grounds the chaos of Ty's return, reminding everyone what Heartland has always stood for: loyalty, faith, and unconditional love. Georgie's journey has always been one of resilience, and her response to Ty's return reflects just how far she's come. As someone who looked up to Ty not just as a mentor but as a father figure, his loss hit her harder than she ever admitted. When she didn't believe in herself, Ty believed in her. As a result, when he returns, buried sorrow and unexpected healing emerge. Georgie is initially stunned, silent, wide-eyed, almost frozen in disbelief. She stares at him for a long moment, searching his face for familiarity, for answers. "Is it really you?" she whispers. But then the shock gives way to emotion, and she embraces him with the raw intensity of someone who never got to say goodbye. Later, she reflects on how Ty's return brings clarity to her own path. She's matured into a strong, independent woman, one who now sees the importance of embracing the unexpected. Georgie chooses to welcome Ty back with open arms, not only for Amy and Lindy's sake, but because she understands that life doesn't often give second chances. Her growth is evident in how she supports Amy without overshadowing her, quietly reminding her that it's okay to feel everything at once: anger, joy, love, and confusion. Georgie knows healing is a process, and she's ready to walk that path with her family. The way Lou Fleming reacts to Ty's return is a powerful mix of conflict, overwhelm, and hope. Lou has always been the pragmatic one, the planner, the fixer. She learned to keep her emotions in check, especially for Amy and Lindy's sake. But when she sees Ty standing at the ranch again, alive and changed, the structure she built to manage grief begins to crumble. 100 questions race through her mind. How is this possible? Where has he been? Why now? But despite her logical instincts, Lou can't help but feel a surge of joy rush through her chest. Her eyes well with tears as she approaches Ty cautiously, almost as if afraid he might vanish again. She tries to keep her composure for Amy's sake, but her voice cracks when she says, "We thought we lost you forever." Her emotions are raw, layered with the pain of watching her sister suffer and the strain of holding the family together. Lou knows this return will stir up unresolved feelings and old wounds, but there's also relief, a glimmer of hope that healing can begin in a new way. In private, she admits to Peter that she's scared. Scared for Amy, for Lindy, for how this will shift everything they've adjusted to. Yet beneath that fear is hope. Hope that this return might mean peace for Amy and a renewed sense of family for them all. Tim Fleming is no stranger to complexity, gruff, stubborn, and often quick to judge. However, a deeply emotional core lies beneath that rough exterior, particularly when it comes to family. Ty's return shakes Tim in a way he's not prepared for. At first, he masks his emotions with anger. He demands answers, where Ty has been, why he disappeared, and why he let Amy suffer all these years. Tim doesn't like being shocked. Furthermore, control is his go-to response. "Do you have any idea what you put this family through?" he barks. However, his eyes are a lie, reddish-rimmed and drenched in unwiped tears. In fact, Tim regarded Ty as a son. He may not have always shown it, but losing Ty left a hole in his heart. And now that he is back, he is overwhelmed with emotions he cannot articulate. It's only later, alone in the field where he used to ride with Ty, that Tim lets his guard down. He breaks down, finally confronting the pain he buried under layers of bravado. In a rare quiet moment, he tells Ty, "You were gone, and I couldn't protect Amy or Lindy. I failed them." And Ty, with calm reassurance, replies, "You didn't fail, Tim. You kept them safe for me." It's a moment of closure for Tim, raw, healing, and incredibly human. The most emotional moment of all unfolds when Ty and Amy finally sit down together, just the two of them, away from the noise, the questions, the tears. They enter the same old cabin by the lake where they once discussed their hopes for the future. The silence is thick with everything left unsaid. Amy stares at Ty, her heart aching with 1,000 feelings. "I thought I'd never see you again," she says, her voice breaking. Ty reaches for her hand, and for a long moment they just sit in silence, tears streaming freely. Then Ty begins to explain his disappearance, the danger he was in, the choice he made to stay away for their safety. Amy listens, torn between anger and love, disbelief and longing. "You should have trusted me," she says, her voice trembling. "We were a team." Ty nods, shame in his eyes. "I know, and I never stopped loving you, not for a moment. I thought I was doing the right thing." There's pain in his voice, but also deep love. As the conversation unfolds, they begin to open their hearts again, slowly, carefully, like two individuals relearning how to breathe. Amy tells him about Lindy's first words, her milestones, her fears. Ty is aching for lost time as he listens. But then Amy softly says, "She deserves to know you, we both do." And Ty, eyes full of tears, promises, "I'll spend the rest of my life making it right, if you'll let me." It's a moment of raw vulnerability, one filled with hurt, but also with the undeniable spark of love that still binds them. A possible future glimmers on the horizon, not perfect, but real and incredibly human. And there you have it, Heartland fans. Ty Borden's return in Season 19, Episode 1 wasn't just shocking, it was beautifully human. It was about pain, healing, forgiveness, and love. Amy's tears, Lindy's smile, Jack's quiet wisdom, Lou's forgiveness, Georgie's strength, Tim's hidden heart. It all came together in an episode that will stay with us for a long time. What did you think of Ty's return? Did it meet your expectations? Do you think he and Amy can truly rebuild their life together? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single update from Next Flying. Until next time, stay kind, stay strong, and never stop believing in the magic of Heartland.